I'm Dr. Mark Antoniazzi. I'm a registered psychologist in Ontario, and I've been interested in music all my life. Music actually is made to evoke emotions.
When I listen to the music where the messages really connect with me, you feel something beyond spiritual. You feel something that reaches so many different layers of your body. Not only just intellectually does it convey a certain message to you, but spiritually it conveys something as strong as well, because you actually feel that there's you're part of a movement.
I really like to listen to music for the musicality and not just for the words or for the story that the song is singing, but the actual musical components of the song.
I feel like music is really important in my life now because I know that it's there for me when I need that support.
When you think about it, they were writing that song one day, and you listening to that song kind of puts you in the same position that they were in when they were writing it, so I guess that is a connection.
There's almost like an intimacy, a very private thing to me. It's not something that I really share a lot. In particular, I like classical music. I find myself listening to classical music when I'm a bit stressed out. It gives me some time to reflect on my day, to reflect on my feelings. Just the calmness of the music just really allows me to calm my emotions down, my anxieties.
Even the couple of notes of the introduction to Jaws, the movie Jaws, for instance, and music being written, if it's in a minor key, it'll be a sadder key. I remember my 4-year-old, who's now much older, walking into the room while I was playing some Baroque music, and he walked in, he goes, "Daddy, why is that music so sad?" And he, even at 4 years old, because of the structure of the music that was playing, it evoked that sadness in him, which Baroque music does.
Simple Man, when I hear that, I also have a really emotional reaction to it. That song will almost bring me to tears every time I hear it. It's the words. For me, it's the lyrics in the song that do it. It's funny, back when I first was listening to it, it didn't mean the same thing to me, but because the song is about a man who's talking about a conversation he had with his mother, it makes me feel more emotional because it makes me feel like I can put myself in the place of the mother and my son in the place of the guy who's singing the song.
When you know that the artist is going through something that you're going through as well, you can definitely relate to it and kind of feel the music more.
I also like how in musical theater there's in one album there's sad songs, there's happy songs. In 3 hours you've got almost every emotion that humans go through, and I think that's really cool.
Seeing people perform something that they love so much, and that's just part of them. For the rest of us, for the listening public, kind of spurs us on too to keep living our lives.
When I see someone play with the level of musicianship that some of these artists play, I just am blown away.
Yeah, music, soul, it's just an inspirational type of feeling. And that's the reason why whether it's politicians, whether it's sports, they always integrate music because they understand that music helps to sell people a certain kind of emotion that they're looking for, and it helps to inspire them far beyond what they feel like they're capable of doing.
I'd say I listened to hardcore music a lot more in high school, but when I was listening to it at the time, it was more oddly enough, hardcore was really uplifting for me. It was very energetic and I really, really enjoyed it. And it got me in the mood to be productive.
Anybody who listens to their favorite artist, it makes them feel great, so Justin Bieber is my favorite artist.
I've seen Wicked, which I was excited to go see, and I did shed a couple tears at the beginning of the musical, because it was all just oh my god, I finally get to see this musical that I've been wanting to see for so long.
I couldn't live without music. I have to listen to music every day.
It was fantastic, again, you're with all your buddies, you're having a great time, the music's cranked, everyone's having a good time, that's what it was all about.
Anywhere between 14 and 20, you kind of form your musical tastes, and that music ends up being special to you the rest of your life. If there's been an event in your life that's attached to a particular song, whether it's a breakup or something happy in your life, and that song comes on, automatically there's, whether it's in some part of the brain, the amygdala, the hippocampus or something, that memory is very much attached to the emotion of the time. As a child, I remember my parents listening to their music, their 78s back then, and singing. We'd sing in the car Our car didn't have a radio at the time, so we would sing their songs in the car, and kind of became important to us.
Well, I know a song that I used to, when I was younger, when I hear it still on the radio and I'm driving, it turns me into a madman on the road. A song called Radar Love, you could look it up.
There is one song that will bring me immediately back to 1982, and it is Tom Sawyer by Rush. When I hear that song, it immediately transports me back.
I actually used to play mini sticks all the time in the basement, and he'd always throw on like Third Eye Blind or Collective Soul or something like that, and usually turned into a bit of a dance party. It turned instead of a hockey game.
It was my first concert. The only thing I remember from there was I thought there was an earthquake because it was like so shaky and everyone was screaming like right there. So like you were in the middle of it and it was just like a lot of fun.
Every culture has their own music, their own brand of music. It's funny, but it's almost a sense of peace, that you're a sense of belonging to, you know, I mean, we're all mortal, you know, beings, but it just somehow makes it all better as you're moving through life together, even though you've never seen these people before.
When you're there for a concert and everybody's there for a collective experience, you start to have this feeling that is almost inexplicable. You know, you don't know the 5,000 to 10,000 people. You probably would never see them ever again. But for that special time, for those 2-3 hours, you guys are there together as one, just experiencing the same thing from different angles. But it still gives you a sense of raw emotion that cannot be, which is very rare to find anywhere else.
Not a lot of people in Woodbridge liked pop punk or hardcore at the time, so going to a place where I could like relate to everyone was really nice.
We're all obviously have something in common. We like the same artist, so you definitely feel connected to the crowd. You feel like you're a part of something.
It's such a fun time, like doing our concerts together. It's not so much about how well we do at the concert, but it's the experience of like being behind the scenes.
It feels a lot more real. You know, it's not you alone in your room or you alone in your car experiencing the thing, but it's just like everybody. It's just like a rush of emotion that just emerges. And everybody, especially when there's a song where everybody knows and everybody knows all the words and knows all the energy behind it, you just collectively just join in unison, going through the same kind of experience, you know, having the same kind of feeling, having the same kind of energy. And you can just feel that rush that is so empowering. It makes you feel like you could just do anything at that time.
Any concerts that I go to now for bands that were available back then, all of us are white-haired and older because that music is stuck with us all our life and is important to us.
Being on the internet and like making online friends through social media like Twitter and Tumblr and stuff like that was cool because I had this relation to these people on social media, but then I actually had that translation in real life. So I can come to a place and feel, I guess, the same enjoyment as other people.
You definitely feel included once you join in the conversation and stuff, and kind of, I don't know, just add to the hype.
I definitely want to experience the community a bit more, just to see if I would like it or not.
You feel like anything is possible at the time. You know, and when you see like a lot of the messages that's going on in the world, you just feel like you're not alone in thinking a certain way.
2 weeks I'll listen to a pop station, 2 weeks classical, 2 weeks rock. So I get, you know, a little rhythm and blues and jazz in there as well. Love it all, love music.